Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Greg Shapiro, and let's queer up education. Students must be allowed to opt out of LGBTQ lessons, Supreme Court rules. The Supreme Court has ruled on Mahmoud versus Taylor, a case that was started by the 2022 Montgomery County, Maryland School Board decision to incorporate LGBTQ-inclusive books into classroom curriculum. Titles included Uncle Bobby's Wedding, which features a same-sex couple, and Born Ready, which tells the story of a transgender child. The school district had initially allowed parents to opt out of the lessons, but later changed that policy, citing administrative burdens. The case was brought to the courts by a coalition of Christian, Muslim, and Jewish parents who argued that removing the opt-out violated their religious freedoms. Beth Hoffman, a Maryland mom of two whose children attend school in the district, said to GMA of the decision, quote, "I think the ruling is a huge setback. Public schools should be an inclusive space. I hope that this isn't an end-all be-all. We need to celebrate our differences and educate our youth to accept people for who they are," end quote. Liberal Justices Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented in the 6-3 ruling. They stated that exposure to diverse ideas is not the same as government indoctrination, but is instead the purpose of public education. HRC President Kelly Robinson said of the decision, quote, "Every child deserves to see themselves reflected in the stories they read and to be celebrated in their classrooms for who they truly are. This ruling not only tells LGBTQ+ students that they don't belong, but that their experiences and existence are less worthy of respect. It's wrong, it's dangerous, and it's cruel, plain and simple," end quote. Well, speaking of administrative burdens, can you imagine what kind of additional pressure these schools will be under just trying to keep track of which little bastards are and aren't allowed to participate? And I want to also say thank you to open-minded Maryland mom Beth Hoffman and liberal justices Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson. Here's a thought, though. Why don't you just do us all a big favor and homeschool your unnecessary offspring?
Well, you know, this to me it reminds me so much, like, as someone who used to work in the LGBTQ advocacy space, of constantly warning that the other side is really good at what they do, and that the polite, we just want to be seen rhetoric isn't going to work. This group specifically went case shopping. They found a district that had an opt-out policy and then took it away, which was you're just begging for a lawsuit at that point. You're just, and you're probably going to lose that lawsuit, because if you had the opt-out, of course a judge is going to say, well, why can't you continue the opt-out? Right. Then they made sure to put Muslims and Jews in it to help split the progressive community. Remember, the case, his first name is Mohammed. They did that deliberately to attack progressives. And, you know, I see this, and instead of saying, you know, we need to stand up for the education system, we need to start saying, no, you want trench warfare? Let's have trench warfare. Let's start challenging every book that has any romantic heteronormative couples in it. Let's say that's controversial too. Let's bring chaos to these school systems. If you're coming for our kids, we're going to come for your kids too. That's the only way you're going to win anymore with these groups. You see how they're acting. They ain't playing nice. It's war.
Right. Books about Christmas too. Anytime that...
Oh yeah, you could go after everything. Whatever you think, just if they're going to go after us, any case, you know, the other side, it's half the time it's not even about us when they're trying to get to us. They're just trying to find any way to come for us. We got to start thinking like that too.
It makes me think, though, because of the ruling, and it stated students must opt out. It doesn't say the parents of the students.
Oh no, but the headline was students, but like it's the parents' rights. The students actually don't have a say in it.
Oh darn!
I know, and isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like what? Like, think about an actual teacher. Like I was a substitute. My parents were teachers. Think about if a kid's like, but I want to be part of the lesson. What do you have to say no? You have to go wherever they're going to tell you to go for the period. Probably a study hall, just like sit and twirl your thumb.
Maybe the kids will share stuff in secret with each other.
Well, they already do.
Yeah. Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.